London's infrastructure has always been on the cutting edge, whether it was the early seafaring days or an underground system that was top-notch for the world.
It was 400 years ago that Sir Hugh Middleton and his team built the first scheme to bring water into London. They invested in the future of this city. We need to be doing the same.
Well, the key challenges that faces the London Infrastructure Plan is to accommodate the growth that any global city will go through in the next 10 years if they want to retain their preeminence in the world. And London wants to do that.
I think the government would argue we've got an infrastructure plan in the UK now, but how do we turn a document into something that's really alive? We're planning decades out into the future.
A lot of the infrastructure that was built 100, 150 years ago, so we're really living on the past. What we need to be doing now is investing for the future.
The first and most obvious challenge is space, needing to work people and commerce in a very tight, geographically locked spot. You got to come up with better ways to use it.
National Grid's been investing increasingly in infrastructure the last 5 years. We're building 32 kilometres of tunnels under London to increase and modernise the flow of power into the heart of the city. Over the next 5 to 6 years, we'll invest £3.2 billion replacing old Victorian gas mains.
We rely on a sewer system that was built 150 years ago. Every year, there are 39 million tonnes of raw sewage going into the River Thames. In this day and age, that can't be right. Now we're looking to build the Thames Tideway Tunnel to upgrade the sewer system, not only for today, but for the next 100 years.
And one of the challenges that we've been facing is collaboration. The public hate the fact that utilities and other businesses seem to come sequentially rather than coming and doing a job at the same time, working with the boroughs, working with the mayor's office. How can we coordinate?
Today there is much more thought about what London should be like, what infrastructure needs are over much longer term.
You're looking at growing to 10 million people by 2030, and you've got to envision 2050. And whether that's intracity air travel, mail delivered automatically, all of those things need to be able to be added into the built environment that we're creating right now for 2030. How do we get people to and from London to be able to communicate globally, interact globally?
Crossrail will bring 10% more public transport capacity to London. And indeed, in addition to that, will create new areas of regeneration that will enable this city to continue to grow.
We think about the sort of scenarios, the energy mix, the demand we're going to have in the future though. One thing we realise is we just don't know the answers.
The challenge is going to get greater and greater. We cannot sit on our hands and do nothing. 2 years ago, during the Olympics, we came horribly close to London running out of water. London needs a water supply for the future. If I was managing London and I was looking at my risk register, I would build that reservoir and I'd build it quickly.
As the capital continues to grow, it is essential that we complete the major projects already underway on time, but also that we step up our planning for the decades to come. We can rightly be proud of everything that's been achieved, but now is not the time to stop and admire the view.
The whole emphasis now is about capital investment to improve the infrastructure that makes London a more sustainable city.
It needs some big, bold, brave decisions to invest in London, to support the economy, to support this fantastic city.